Hello and good afternoon to all of you. Here's welcoming each one of you to another edition of Cyber Talk, a thought leadership initiative from Securite. In fact, I also want to extend a warm welcome to our partners who've logged in from Africa. Welcome, friends. This afternoon's webinar will unleash Operation Gold Rush. We will get to hear about the exciting opportunities that lie ahead and how partners like each of you can benefit from it. I am personally looking forward to this session, and I hope all of you who've logged into this session share the same sentiment. My name is Bijoy George, and I oversee global marketing, and I'm happy to be your host for this afternoon. Before we get started, I wanted to make some housekeeping announcements. I request all of you to switch off your mobile phones. All attendees will be placed on mute. We have provided for a Q&A session as part of this session. Do unmute yourself during the Q&A session and raise your queries. Please do place yourself on mute thereafter. Alternatively, you could also use the chat window to raise your queries, and I'll be happy to relay them over to the experts. Now, I think it's time to sort of kick in and get started with the official agenda. Now let's move to the official agenda. This afternoon's session will be led by a very talented engineer who passed out from the College of Engineering in Pune, who's also an alumnus of IIM Calcutta. He then went on to start his working career with IBM and thereafter did a stint with Medibis Pharma as a business analyst. Prior to joining Quick Heal, he started out in the corporate planning and strategy function at HCL Infosystems before moving on to take a product manager role where he oversaw the Dell and the EMC portfolio. At Quick Heal, he currently leads the endpoint security product portfolio. Friends, please join me in welcoming Mr. Tasleem Tarwi, Product Manager, EPS. Tasleem will be our general this afternoon who will lead us into Operation Gold Rush. Welcome, Tasleem. I am excited, and I'm sure the audience who've gathered and logged in today are equally excited to hear about Operation Gold Rush. So over to you.
Thanks, Bijoy. I would like to welcome everyone who has taken time out to join this session. So here is what we are going to do today. We'll start off our session by looking at some of the security incidents and statistics related to attacks which have happened all across the world. We'll take a closer look at the impact of cyber attacks, shortcomings of on-premise deployment model, overview of Securite Endpoint Security Cloud offering, benefits for our managed service providers, and how Securite can help you to strike gold in your coming assignments. So let's start our session by looking at some of the facts which came out of a survey which was conducted across 671 organizations. The fact number one is the fear of cyber attack at an endpoint level has increased from 69% in 2017 to 73% in 2019. This is primarily due to new and unknown threats which are on the rise all across the globe. The fact number two is successful endpoint attacks have increased significantly from 54% in 2017 to 68% in 2019. The data is surprising, but there are multiple such surveys available and each represents various facts. Do you think that we are getting a little lost in data? So let's take a closer look and relate this to real life incidents. The cyber attacks all across the world are on the rise. The ransomware attack on Arizona Beverages halted their sales for days. Amex has suffered from data breach and so has Equifax. These are some of the incidents on the global organizations. But what about cyber attacks in India? So let's talk about that. India is among the top 5 countries targeted by cybersecurity attacks. Filmy style attack on Cosmos Bank is a classic example of what is it at stake if you do not have strong cybersecurity capabilities. Everyone would have heard about the Maze ransomware attack on Cognizant. And it's not only about the private firms, but the attack on the government organizations are also on the rise. Attack on nuclear power plant and ISRO are the recent examples. So let's have a quick look at the attack dynamics have changed during the COVID-19 times. Our country is under lockdown since March, and one of the survey by Economic Times says that cyber attacks and breaches may have increased by 500% since the lockdown began. Most of these organizations are below the radar and small organizations. Phishing attacks have increased by 3 to 4 times since December. And to top on that, hackers based out of China have attempted 40,000 cyber attacks on Indian banking and IT sector. So let's go into a little bit of more details about which sectors are the primary targets of attackers. Securite's Q2 threat report showcases sector-wise attack landscape. 74% attacks have been attempted on manufacturing, professional services, education, and healthcare organizations. The next 20% of the attack are conducted on government, BFSI, and ITITS institutions. But the real question is how the attack happens. The primary entry point of an attack is endpoint. 68% of the breaches start on endpoint device. 80% of those are zero-day attacks. 97 days is the average patch mitigation gap, while $9 million is an economic impact due to attack. So we talked a lot about cybersecurity data and incidents, but what about the real impact? What it really does to an organization. So let's have a closer look at this. The cost of a successful attack has increased from 7.1 million to 8.94 million since 2017. In India context, the organizations have spent close to 8 crores to rectify the impact of ransomware attack. While COVID-19 has increased the rate of digitization, it had also increased the risk of cyber attacks. Now, these all are monetary impacts. It actually affects an organization in 4 ways. The cyber attack can cause financial loss, due to which the loss of business and loss of financial information can occur. It also affects your organization's reputation, which may result in loss of customers, loss of sale, and thereby affecting your profits. Organizations have to face legal consequences if the personal data is compromised. And last but not the least is the employees who are responsible for maintaining the cybersecurity tend to lose their jobs because of these kind of incidents. So what do we do to overcome these impacts? To mitigate these impacts and safeguard the organization from cyber attacks, endpoint security solution is required. But before we jump into details of this, let's have a quick poll.
Okay, can I request the team at the back end to serve the poll, please? Friends, I would request each of you to participate and give us your inputs. And let's give everybody a couple of minutes to capture their preferences. Team, if the tabulation is complete, can we have the results, please?
There's just still a few people to go.
Sure, thanks. Can we serve the results now? Yep. All right, there you go. So 46% continue to prefer on-prem, and the preference towards cloud today stands at about 54%. Yeah, and given the current work from home environment, clients are beginning to seek cloud over on-prem solutions. And some of the hurdles that we see today are organizations not ready or culturally not ready for migration. And they're also sort of trying to address or don't have a handle on what are the security issues that they will stumble upon as they go through this migration, and cost concerns, of course. So great inputs. So thank you, friends, for sharing these inputs. And that's exactly why we have Tasleem here today to address some of these issues. So Tasleem, I think it's up your alley. Over to you.
Thanks, Bijo, and thanks everyone who has participated in the poll. So from the poll, it looks like the organizations are really gearing up to move their products to cloud. And given the current situation, it has forced many of us to do that. But what if a customer approaches us for on-premise deployment? In such cases, we have to make customers aware about the shortcomings of on-premise deployment model. So let's look at some of the shortcomings which you can talk about to your potential customers. The on-premise deployment model requires dedicated servers for installation of a solution. It also requires additional manpower to maintain the operational efficiency of all the machines. This results in total cost of ownership to be on the higher side. Companies do have plans to extend their workforce, and this requires flexibility in scaling up the solution, which can be tedious in case of on-premise deployment, as it requires new machines to be installed and balancing the load all across the branches. This results in diluted end-to-end experience, and administrators have to compromise on ease of management. So what do we do? To overcome all these challenges, I would like to introduce our Securite Endpoint Security solution, which we offer it through our cloud platform. The endpoint security solution is designed to protect all your endpoints and manage through one single console anywhere from the world. So as we looked at some of the real life incident, and if we relate the endpoint security solution to that, the real question comes is, what do we secure and how do we do it? So let's jump into that. We have built our solution to monitor all the attack vectors. Our solution comes with multi-layer defense mechanism, which is governed by GoDeep.ai technology. This technology is AI-based deep predictive malware hunting technology. In addition, our anti-ransomware module comes with customized critical data backup capability to keep your data secure at all point in time. Our application control module helps you to mitigate threats coming from unauthorized applications. It comes with predefined list of applications and also has a facility to add custom applications as per the need. Web filtering module helps to eliminate phishing attacks. Administrator can define website accesses as per the organizational guidelines. Asset management module provides visibility into software and hardware specifications. It can also help you to track changes. The asset management module also provides detailed reports to achieve the compliance. The advanced device control module helps to configure and manage the peripheral device access. It also provides the functionality to define conditional access as per the need. Data loss prevention module is an integrated offering with our endpoint security solution. It helps you to monitor and block confidential content which is getting out of the organization and provide you with detailed compliance reports. And last but not the least is the firewall module, which keeps an eye on the inbound as well as outbound traffic and protects your system from intrusion-based attacks. So that's all about the product offering. So let's now have a look at how Seqrite can help all the partners to target more. So let's start with the market size of endpoint security. The global endpoint security market is projected to be around $13 billion by end of 2023. While the India endpoint security market is projected to be around $406 million by end of 2022. So this means that there is a huge opportunity lying ahead of all of us and we can target more and more customers. The next thing I would like to talk about is COVID-19 impact. These are very tough times for humanity and no one would have imagined the situations like this. But at the same time, the COVID-19 has forced every one of us to think ahead of time. Companies like TCS are planning to have 75% of their workforce working from home permanently by 2025. All of the other firms are also thinking in the same direction. One of the survey states that 95% of the workloads will be in cloud by 2022. So two things are surely going to happen after this. The first thing is work from home is here to stay. And the second is cloud adoption is going to increase for smooth functioning of businesses all across the world. So what does all of this mean for all of us? This creates an opportunity for all of us to sell more cloud-based endpoint security solutions. But how are we going to do that? What are some of the distinct characteristics of our solution which you can share with your potential customers? So let's have a look at those. Seqrite Endpoint Security provides critical data backup capability, which keeps your data secure at all times. You can customize it as per your need. All the modules which you saw a while ago are part of one single console. The administrator does not have to juggle between different screens to configure the policies. Having centralized defragmentation and tuning of endpoints helps to keep your systems operationally optimized at all point in time. Our product have been certified by globally recognized organizations like AV-TEST and ICSL Labs. These organizations have known to evaluate products at various levels to assess protection and performance capabilities. Our own patented technology is there to help you secure at all point in time. We have received 6 patents till date. And last but not the least is we have ISO certified product support team, which is available to assist you for any queries that you may have. So let's see this product in action.
Okay, we come to the end of section 1. Tasleem will now move to the second part of this presentation, which is really to walk us through a demo. So bear with us. Let's give Tasleem a few seconds while he hooks up the demo. Thank you.
So give me just few moments. I am sharing my screen. So there you go. This is the screen where the IT administrator, when he logs into Endpoint Security Cloud, he lands on this page. This is the dashboard where the summarized view of what is happening all across the organization is represented. The administrator can view the infection status and graphical data of various features that they have opted for. Administrator can go ahead and create multiple groups. He can manage the endpoints as per the groups and assign a group administrator responsibility to multiple people. If you look at the status tab, this represents the detailed view of an endpoint. This is where you can view that how many endpoints are online and offline and respective details. You can select single or multiple endpoints and take a quick action. For example, I have selected 2 endpoints and I can initiate the scan from this tab itself. So let's look at the deployment. We have multiple methods which are available. This is where the administrator can choose the preferred method. The first method is administrator can download the client agent and install it manually. The next method is email notification. The administrator can send email with a link to download to all of the employees within the organization. We also have a facility of remote installer mechanism through which you can specify the IP address of various machines and the agent will be installed silently. And we also have Active Directory support where you can push the agent installation by using your Active Directory console. Now, one of the primary and important tasks of an IT administrator is to create and configure policies. So let's look at one of the sample policy. Here you can see that we have listed all the policies in a single console. This is where you can configure policy for scanner, policy for email, and likewise for other features. All the detailed settings are present within each respective modules. I would like to talk about one USP that we just saw. This is with respect to data backup. Here you can configure the data backup as per the requirement. You can take a backup on local machine or on the network part. You can also specify the type of files that you want to take backup of. Once you save this policy, you can apply this to various groups and manage those endpoints and keep them secure at all point in time. We have detailed reports for all the modules. The reports are available in 2 formats: the graphical view, which you are seeing on the screen, and the tabular view. In tabular view, you can view more details about the incident and on which machine it has happened, which file it has affected, and likewise. The administrator section here contains multiple other subsettings. It has activity logs, settings for notification, configuration of user roles, and the information with respect to license. We do understand that managing multiple endpoints can be tedious at times. And this is where we have given a functionality to create users and assign different roles. For example, administrator role, group administrator role, or report viewer role. These users then go on and take their respective actions as per the rules assigned to them. Now, on the dashboard, you can also view the notifications and alerts. This is where we showcase the action which needs to be taken if a critical incident is happening. Now, this is all about the dashboard and the product, endpoint security product. I'll switch on to the presentation in a minute. All right. So we looked at the console and our product helps customers to achieve the security compliance. But what about the partners? What about the managed service providers? So you don't have to worry. We have covered you as well. We have our own managed security service provider platform, which is built specifically for MSPs and resellers. This is cloud-based platform through which you can enable trial for potential customers on the go. You will be able to manage customers with ease and this platform will provide you detailed compliance reports. This platform will really help you to expedite your sales cycle. So let's see this portal in action. Just give me a few moments. I'm switching screens. And this is the portal, MSSP portal, which is going to help you out to target more and more customers. I'll just share my screen in a moment. There you go. So this is the dashboard where a MSP, managed service provider, once he logs in, he view the summarized view of all the licenses or all the customer activities which are happening all across the customer base. Here you can see the commercial and trial activation trends, and along with that, you can also view the infections which are detected all across the customers which are onboarded. Before I move on to next tabs, the site here means the customer. So the number 7 on the top of the dashboard that you are viewing, that actually means that there are 7 commercial customers that I, as a managed service provider, is managing right now. So let's go to the sites. Here you can onboard any customer on the go for trial. You can select the product and you can enter the respective information and you're done with that. This is where you can also view the list of how many customers you have given trial for and how many of them are commercial customers. You can go and log into their console as well to configure their policies, and if there is an incident happening, you can take action on that. Along with that, we have also provided detailed reports for our MSPs. The reports includes malware and virus related reports and license expiry related reports. This is where it helps an MSP to achieve compliance by providing detailed reports. Now we do understand that as a MSP, you may want to onboard multiple other partners under you. And this is where we have built this functionality where you can onboard multiple sub partners from this window. You just have to enter some details about the partner and then you are done. Here on the screen, you will also view that how many partners that you have onboarded. Out of those, how many of them are MSPs and how many total customers you have onboarded. We do also understand that as a MSP, if you are onboarding multiple customers, then it becomes easier for one persona to manage all the customers. And this is where we have given a functionality to add multiple users from an MSP side to manage different set of customers. And this is the window through which you can do that. You can assign and onboard multiple personas from your side, and they'll be able to take care of a set of customers that they are assigned to. As a MSP, one of the critical aspects of your side is to configure and apply policies to customer environment. And this is where you can create and apply those policies as per the requirement from the customer side. So that is all with respect to MSSP platform. This platform really helps you to target more and more customers and create more trials and engage with more customers. So I'll switch to the presentation. Just give me a few moments. Now we talked about lot about the data, product. We also looked at product USPs. We also had a look at the MSSP platform, which enables you to target more. But there is one more thing that we would like to talk about. And this is where I would like to onboard Mr. Omkar Shinolikar, who heads our sales operation department. Omkar, partners are eager to hear from you. Over to you, Omkar.
Hey, thank you, Taslim. Yeah, I think it's a fabulous product, and I would like to welcome all the partners aboard. With this, I think the name of the operation was that Operation Gold Rush. So everyone is waiting that what's all is going to be about. Yes, we have come up with an incentive program, which which is specially designed this time. In this program, previously, this is basically for our domestic friends. For our international friends, we will connect separately. For domestic friends, this is for all the sales representatives who are registered with us in this program, who are of our gold and silver partners, sales representatives. So this is basically to acquire new acquisition. Till last year, we used to do a lot of programs, but into these programs, what we used to lack was automation. Now in this incentive scheme, it's a fully automated scheme. The link has been shared or would be shared also to all your email IDs. On that link, any sales representative can log in. He has to complete his KYC and start recording his achievements. It's a real-time program where a real-time sales versus target achievement can be measured. Obviously, it goes into slabs. So we've planned a slab-wise incentive to make it more lucrative. This scheme is available from 1st of August till 30th September. So friends, listen to me again. It's from 1st of August till 30th of September. So sales that you have done from August are being counted. So it's a slab-wise thing where it's an end customer proposition. A person who is selling it to the end customer gets incentivized. To top it up with this, as it's not just a slab, but we got some sweeteners to it. We said, yes, the environment is changing beyond on-prem products. So for the other products, we came with a multiplier. Now with this multiplier, what it means is that if any person sells cloud product worth 1 lakh rupees, he actually gets a 2x. That means his count, the benefit that will get will be counted for 2 lakh rupees. So that 1 lakh achievement actually becomes 2 lakh. If he does 2 lakh, it becomes 4 lakhs. And the proportionate incentive, proposed incentive in the scheme will get calculated on that. Similarly, for the other products that's been done. Now, this is a scheme. I know many of you have already seen this scheme because that was made available to you from August, and through a lot of channels, it would have reached you. Some of you would have, some of your representatives would have started registered also under the program and would have started enjoying the benefits as well. But as it was an Operation Gold Rush, so the right sweetener, especially for the cloud product, is here. Any person, the top 50 deals which get closed in August and September, minimum value of 1 lakh rupees, get an additional bonus of 5,000 rupees. In this scheme, the whole beauty of this scheme is every sales representative who registers in this program will actually be issued an independent gift card. In that gift card, the whatever calculation value comes in is going to get deposited. So now let me explain how this 5,000 comes to you. If a sales representative goes ahead and closes a deal of 1 lakh rupees of cloud, what he will get? He will get 2x, which means the achievement becomes 2 lakh rupees. 3% of 2 lakhs, it means 6,000 rupees, and plus a bonus of 5,000 rupees. My friends, the achievement will be 11,000 rupees on a deal size of 1 lakh rupees. That's the incentive which comes in. And I think Bijoy just briefed me at the start today that today's gold price is about 4,900. So I think we are talking of about 2 to 2.2 grams of gold, Bijoy. I think that sounds good.
Yeah.
That
That's
makes
a lot
it
of gold. Yes, that's a gold rush.
That's a gold rush.
Yes.
Yes. So I have kept screen there. You have any questions related to these schemes, you can put it across in the Q&A. We'll be very happy to address them. Hope it excites everyone. The product itself shows, Taslim showed us so many opportunities to sell. I think I am more eager to go and sell and get into the gold rush. Thank you, my friends. Over to you, Vijay.
Thank you, Omkar. Thank you so much. Just wondering, Omkar, if I can also be part of this scheme, can I also register? I just want to clarify.
So it's only no, Vijay, you and me cannot do that. It's only and only for our esteemed partner representatives.
Super. So I'm so happy that you came and you've actually configured this very interesting scheme and which is really pretty much like a gold rush, right? Because like we discussed this morning, 1 gram is 4,900, so it's almost like a 2.5 grams of gold. So that was fantastic. And thank you, Taslim, for pointing us towards the big market opportunity. And I'm sure our partner friends today understand the potential that lies ahead, both from a India market perspective. They also have a global market, reading of what what the opportunity is, and they can now plan their GTMs accordingly. So thank you, gentlemen, for coming and adding to Operation Gold Rush. Now, before we move on to the next part of this session, I just have one question for you, Taslim.
Okay.
Which is that you've explained the benefits. I mean, it was fantastic. You walked us through the product features, the benefits. You kind of demonstrated the console for us, right? All of that was great, and I personally got a lot of learnings from that. Now, my question, however, is that in this entire migration story, one is how secure is the model, right? Because I'm so used to an on-prem model, and now you're saying, hey, please move, Mr. Client, please move to the cloud. Therefore, one is how secure is that model. Second, in the event that there is an unknown malware, attack, how is this new model going to help the enterprise?
All right, Biju. I think that's a great question. And there are two parts to it. The application is hosted on cloud. And this is where we work very closely with AWS. And we also have our own security mechanisms to ensure that this model is always protected 24/7 all throughout the year. Now, if you have to ask me that, what about the unknown malwares, which you do not have a detection and they are trying to enter in a system? So for that, we have GoDeep.ai. Now, let me just explain into a little bit of more details. GoDeep.ai is actually a combination of multiple modules. It takes care of signature-based as well as signature-less kind of attack. There are various pre and post execution modules that we execute on an endpoint to take care of signature-based attacks. And for signature-less attack, we have our own built-in behavioral detection-based module, which is combined with our patented DNA scan technology. This is where these modules work collaboratively, analyze the details of a file, track it for a brief period of time, and then provide a result to administrator whether that looks malicious or not. If the administrator has already configured a policy to take certain action, if a malicious activity is found or malicious file is found, then that action will be taken automatically. And this is where we ensure that be it a known malware or unknown malware, our customers are protected 24/7 at all times. And to add to that, we also have our own security labs section where the employees analyze millions of malwares every minute, every hour of a day, and release the automated signatures for unknown and newly detected malwares. So combining all of these together, our customers does not have to worry at all. They are secure at any point in time. That's how we do it, Vijay.
Thank you, Taslim. Thanks for the really detailed clarification. Thank you. Okay, so I'm done with my question, and now I think it's it's time for us to open it up and get everybody, all our partner friends, to come and raise their queries and open up for our Q&A session. So, team, can I request you to unmute everybody so that if anybody has a question, they could raise and raise their questions, or use the chat window to sort of punch in their queries, and I'll be happy to read them out and get Taslim or any of the other subject matter experts to address it. Anybody at all can. If anybody wants to, team, can we unmute everyone, please? Okay, let me start.
They will have to raise the hand and we'll unmute them.
Okay, so let me kickstart with what's available on the chat window, Taslim, and we will go back to the questions. All right. So I'm going to start with the first one. This is from Mr. Durgesh, and this is his question. He says, in my opinion, if EPS is provided in dual mode, as in both on-prem and cloud, right? Initially, this flexibility will help customer to consider and lean more towards cloud. I get the feeling that he's asking if he can provide both options and then let the customer sort of go through the experience and then move towards, take a liking towards cloud. I mean, that's really what the question is all about.
All right. No, that's a very interesting question, actually. And this is where actually we want our customers to consider cloud. And this is because the uncertain situations and the flexibility, mobility, advantages that cloud has, that is something that we'll have to talk it to customers. But we do have both the flavors available. We have cloud version of endpoint security and on-premise version of endpoint security, and customers can have a look at both. But considering the given situations, considering the whole world is migrating towards cloud, we want our customers to consider more and more cloud-based products from our side.
Okay, thank you, Taslim. We have the second question. Where are those critical data backups placed?
Okay, all right. So we have given flexibility actually to you. You can configure to create the backup on the local machine or at a network level where you can place the data backup of all the machines at a single machine. So it's up to you how you want to take it forward.
All right, thank you. So we're basically giving the option to the customer, right?
Right.
All right. We have another question from Mr. Matthew Epen. It says, is it compatible with Linux or only Windows OS?
So we support all the three operating systems: Windows, Linux, and Mac.
Okay, thank you for that. We have a question from Mr. Venkatesh. How remote install will work? Because console hosted in cloud users will sit somewhere else, and therefore he wants to know how it works. Basically, he says, how will the remote installation work? Because the console is hosted in the cloud and remote workers are seated elsewhere. So how does it all work?
Right. So the underlying mechanism is you have to specify the IP address of a particular machine. So once that machine is available on the internet with that particular IP, we ping that machine. Once the ping returns, the message returns, we start installation. What we can do going further is we can have kind of arrange a demo for you so that you can get a feel of that.
Yeah, that will help Taslim, because it's good to sort of play around with it so that partners can get a feel of it. So happy to do that, Mr. Venkatesh. We'll be in touch with you. We have another question from Mr. Sam. Is the backup features can also be applied to database servers?
So the backup is about the files. So you can specify different file types. as you have seen in the demo, you can specify the file type, but you cannot specify the database tables. You can specify the DB file though.
Okay. Thanks, Sam. I hope that answers your question. If not, please feel free to write to us and we'll be happy to address them. We have another question from Mr. Nilay. He's asking us, can you show any reports? Is it possible to sort of take this offline and give him a feel of this, Taslim?
Yeah, I think let's talk to them offline and we can show them all the reports actually.
Sure. So, Mr. Nilay, we'll be in touch with you and we'll sort of walk you through. Taslim will be happy to walk you through the reports that you can generate, right? And then if there are any queries related to that, we're happy to have a discussion. So you'll hear from us very soon, Mr. Nilay. We have another question from Ms. Richa Saxena. So I think, Omkar, this is for you. If customer is using EPS on-prem, his licenses has expired in July and wants to move to cloud, then licenses will be placed, will it be treated as renewal or new? And is the offer applicable on this order? Omkar, are you there? You're on mute. Okay, we'll come back to this question. Right now, I'm not sure I'm able to connect with Omkar. We'll go to the next question. Where do we stand as compared to our competitors?
So with respect to competitors, we have multiple unique features, as you saw in our USP slide. And with respect to competitors, we differentiate ourselves based on the critical data backup capability, integrated console, email security that we provide, and multiple other features that we offer. What we can do is we can reach out to you and understand what competitors that you are comparing, and we can help you to provide a competitive analysis of those.
Okay, thank you, Taslim, for that. Okay, we have another question. Will the patch management of the EPS on-prem be available in the EPS cloud in future?
Right. So patch management is a part of the product backlog and it will be prioritized in future versions and will intimate once it is available on the cloud solution.
Okay. The next one is for Omkar. I don't know if he's able to hear me, but essentially the question is how to get registered for this, for the scheme.
Hey, hi, Vijay.
Yeah,
So
hi.
We'll share across the link to all the participants. We have already done the mailing, but we'll once again share across all the link. On that link, the sales representative can register himself. There's a OTP verification, and then there's a KYC which is to be done. The portal will drive the journey.
Okay. So we will be sending out a communication which will feature all the details that also includes the URL, right? So
it will be a similar one, Bijoy, the way we had shared a one pager of that.
All right, done. So I have one more question for you, Omkar. So the question is, if customer is using EPS on-prem and his license has expired in July and he wants to move to the cloud, okay, then will this be treated as a renewal or new, and will the offer be applicable, the incentive scheme be applicable in this particular case?
It will be if you are deploying, as if there is no migration which is happening, and instead of that it's a complete new key which gets deployed, then it will be treated as a new acquisition.
Okay. So Richa, what I suggest is that if you have an opportunity or a case that you're working on, then I think it's important that you discuss with the team, and they'll be able to walk you through this.
Perfect.
I think the other one is something that has been responded to, which is really about the scheme being applicable to platinum partners. So Omkar, for the interest of everyone, would you want to talk around that?
So basically this scheme is for the sales representatives of all our gold and silver partners. For platinum, we'll work out something different. But the current construct is purely for the sales representatives of gold and silver partners.
There's one more question for you, Omkar. We have some friends from Africa who wants to know, what about international partners? Is there something for them?
In this scheme currently, for international partners, there is nothing in this scheme. It's not covering international partners, because for country specific, we drive country specific marketing promotions in a different way. So international, the better way will be that the current sales representative is handling that geography. It could be in case of Africa. Nehal will help you out very soon on what we can drive in terms of schemes there.
Thank you, Omkar. We have a question from Masila Mani. Can Cloud EPS support DLP?
Yes, it does. And in fact, that's an integral part of the cloud solution offering. It's an add-on which is available, and once you subscribe to that, it is available for your consumption.
Okay. Thanks, Taslim. Thank you for that. Mr. Gaurav Chavda has a question for you, Taslim. What are cloud data backup storage sizes? Is there also different packages for that?
Okay, so it all depends on what critical data that you define. By default, we have 19 file extensions, which we think that critical to any organization. On top of that, you can define your own file types or your own custom applications that you are using. So you can define those file types as well. And basis the complete list of file types, it depends how many files you have in a system, and backup of all those files will be taken.
Okay. Thanks, Taslim. What about bandwidth utilization of EPS Cloud?
So EPS Cloud uses minimal bandwidth. It has a communication schedule in every 15 minutes, which is available for policy update and update of all the configuration. So we use only that bandwidth which requires to send the data. So it is bandwidth optimized.
Okay, that's interesting to note. We have a question from one of our partner friends in Africa, Fagit Etunji. He wants to know cloud support. Does this support mobile devices and virtual machines?
So mobile devices we do not support. Virtual machines is something that we do support. And going forward, very soon, we are also bringing mobile device support to our endpoint cloud product. This is where our unified endpoint management product will come into the picture. It will have endpoint and mobile security in place. This is very soon, it is going to get out, and we are happy to reach out to you for our early access or beta program, which we are going to roll out very soon. So we'll reach out to you separately for this.
Okay, Taslim, that's interesting to note. So we are saying that we have UEM on roadmap, and we're going to reach out to our partners for the beta testing phase, right?
Right.
All
That's right.
That's very interesting, Taslim. That's a very big news. All right, we have one question from Mr. Jayesh. Does it support Mac and Linux for DLP add-on pack for Cloud Premium Edition?
So for DLP, we support Windows, and some of the DLP features are supported on Mac as well. Linux is something that we do not support at this point in time.
Okay, all right. Thanks, Taslim. Omkar, this question is for you. So we have Mr. Prasad from Bangalore, and he's essentially saying that we want to partner with Securite, and therefore he wants to understand.
So they are eligible, but it depends on they get registered as platinum, gold, or silver. So I've already said that it's for gold and silver partners. Sales representatives, basically the scheme is for our sales representatives of the partners to get better business. So if I think they are from Bangalore, so yeah. I think you can connect yourself with Nikhil. Nikhil will be able to help you better on this.
Yeah, so Nikhil is your go-to man in Bangalore, and I'm sure he'll be able to help you with this, Mr. Prasad. We have another question from Mr. Venkatesh. He wants to know how to move from on-prem clients to cloud.
Right. So currently what you have to do is you will have to start cloud installation, pushing cloud installer agent on your machine, it will automatically uninstall the on-premise agent and install the cloud agent. So that way you will be able to migrate very smoothly.
Yeah, thank you. That was a crisp and spot on kind of a response. Thanks. So if there's any clarification, please feel free to write back to us, and we'll be happy to handhold you and the client in case you have any opportunity that you think you want us to pursue and help you with. We have a question from Masila Mani. What about DLP module for Linux environment?
Biju, can you repeat that? DLP module for
Linux environment. Linux.
Yes. Currently, the DLP that we have, it does not support the Linux environment, and it is a part of product roadmap.
Okay. All right. What virtual machines do we support? There's another question from Mr. Christopher.
All right. We have specified what is the minimum system specification which is required. And if you have those system specifications in your virtual environment, you can directly go ahead and install the product. For example, within VMware, you can, if you have a machine which has 1 GB of RAM and 500 MB of free space, you can start installing it. So likewise, you can refer to our administrator guide, and if you satisfy that minimum specification of a system, you can start installing Cloud Agent on that machine.
Okay.
The VMware platform does not get into the picture.
Okay. Thanks. We have another question from Christopher itself. And I think Omkar or Taslim, we'll leave it to you. Who wants to take this question? How do we get access to the MSSP platform?
So to access the MSSP platform, you have to reach out to our sales representative. They'll onboard you as a MSP through the managed security service provider platform. So I think the respective sales representative will get in touch with you for this.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Christopher, for asking that query. We've noted your query. Somebody from the team will be in touch with you, and then you can discuss your requirements, and we are happy to help you. We have a question from Mr. Samir, and it's got a very interesting question, Taslim. Any plans on introducing mobile EPS cloud management apps, or do we still need to use desktops to manage the console?
So as I said, the mobile endpoint security, it provides the functionality of app management as well. And that will come with when we are launching the unified endpoint platform. So we'll intimate once we are ready for the beta.
Okay. There is a query here, but I don't know. I think online demo. I mean, it says online demo only. I'm assuming they're asking for an online demo. Taslim, are we in a position to do like an online demo to clients?
So if you are registered on the MSSP platform, you can onboard that customer within seconds, and you can provide that demo on the go. So that should not be a problem. But if there is any further query, then please reach out to us. We'll showcase how to do that.
All right. So Vitri Enterprise, what Taslim says is it's easy to register yourself on the MSSP platform, right, Taslim? Did I get you right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah,
that's correct.
and then you can onboard the client and deliver the demo. Alternatively, you can be in touch with us, and we'll be happy to do that for a client of yours that you're pursuing, and we'll be happy to do that. Mr. Prasad has another question. Banking sector will have certain restrictions for going for cloud-based EPS. If there are any examples where the banks or NBFCs adapted to the solution, basically he's saying, is there some way, any other banks, any references?
Right. So references is something that will look internally and we can get back. But I do understand that the financial sector does have some limitations, and they may have to adopt the on-premise solutions. And that is where we also have the on-premise product offering only for such sectors which are governed by rules and regulations.
Yeah. So thank you for that. So Mr. Prasad, regulations sometimes come in the way, and we have to respect the law of the land and the regulations that have been laid out. And like Taslim mentioned, we have a very robust on-prem solution as well to be able to cater to this kind of a requirement. So happy to talk to you and partner with you if you have any clients or opportunities. We have another question, Taslim, Mr. Rushikesh Chavan. Is this solution agent-based or agentless?
This is agent-based solution.
Okay, thank you, Rushikesh. So like Taslim says, it is an agent-based solution. We'll move to what Nitin wants to know. How do you address zero-day threats?
All right. So to address that, what we have is multiple modules working in combination. What we do is whenever a file or a malicious entry is coming into your system, we start analyzing that and we start tracking its activities. And there, multiple pre and post execution modules kick in to analyze that. For example, application control, firewall module, and likewise the other modules that we looked at. That also has a combination of intelligent input from behavioral detection and DNA scan module. Now, all these inputs go into the deep learning module, and once the analysis is done, once the seed analysis is done, then the result is produced across. And this is how we ensure that zero-day attacks are also mitigated on customers' systems.
Thank you, Taslim. We have a question from Nitin. He says, today EDR, XDR, or MDR kind of solutions are gaining ground, right? Compared to passive solutions. And his question is, how Quick Heal or Seqrite is addressing, this space?
All right. So we already are working on building EDR solution. And this is also going to come out soon, where we'll announce the early adopter program where you can also participate. So we are already working on building endpoint detection and response, multiple networking solutions, which are next generation solutions. And those will be available to all of you for conducting beta and for consumption very soon. We'll reach out to you about the details of those at the appropriate time.
Thank you, Taslim. If there's anybody who wants to ask a question, please feel free to raise your hand and we can unmute you. So I think Vitri Enterprise, can you please unmute, please, team? Unmute, please, so that they can ask a question. They've raised their hands. So
he has self-muted them.
Okay, all right. Anybody else wants to ask a question? Please feel free to raise your hands and we can, unmute and then. Okay, Taslim, I think that's the set that we've had in terms of questions. But if there are any, partners, friends can always write back to us, right? All right. So that really brings us to the end of the Q&A session. So friends, all of you heard about the opportunities, right? Taslim has given us a perspective in terms of the opportunities of migrating to the cloud. We got a ringside view of the EPS cloud solution, the demo, the detailed demo that that Taslim walked us through, and most importantly, Omkar gave us an idea about the benefits of partnering with Seqrite. There's so much for all of us in this. The opportunity on one side, there's this incentive to partner with Seqrite on the other side. All in all, I think it is really Operation Gold Rush, right? And now, at this point in time, can I request all of you to give us your feedback, please? Team, please do share the poll. Friends, please do give us your feedback. Your inputs will help us sort of tailor make our programs, our GTM, and will also give us inputs in terms of how we can better sort of reach out to you and help you pursue opportunities. So your inputs are really, really, appreciated. Let's give everybody a couple of minutes, please. Team, if you've tabulated, can we have the results, please? All right, fantastic. So I'm glad everybody liked the presentation, which I think, we're very happy to note the fact that Omkar, take a bow. Everybody likes your, incentive scheme. But we will take note of the people who think that there is some improvements required. We're happy to do that. And we will also work with partners who actually have opportunities that they're currently pursuing, and we are happy to help and do whatever it is that we have to do to ensure that you win those deals. And if there is any specific area like you've called out, there is a mention for demos, initial pitch to clients, and pricing support, and whatever. Under others, if you have something specific, please feel free to reach out to us, and we're happy to help you. And we'll be in touch with you after this webinar as well. And let's go to market together and ensure that we are able to capitalize on the opportunities that Tasleem has actually pointed out to us. All right. So that brings us to the end of this edition of Cyber Talk, a series, thought leadership series from Seqrite. If you have any specific feedback or support, do mail them to marketing@seqrite.com. We'd be happy to address them and take one-on-one discussions, offline. So thank you for attending this, and have a great evening ahead. Thank you so much.